The La TV or the La Echo has created quite a buzz when it launched its budget smartphone, the La One S. We have been playing with it for a while now, and this is our long-term review of the La Echo La One S. Let's talk about the build quality first. The device is made up of aluminum body and a Corning Gorilla Glass 3 at the front. Well, it sure feels premium, and when I say premium, I mean it feels way better than what it costs. The device itself is pretty thin and weighs in at about 169 grams, which is good considering its size. Getting into the specs now, the La One S is powered by a MediaTek Helio X10 octa-core processor clocked at 2.2 GHz, 3 GB of RAM, and 32 GB of onboard storage. On paper, it's a powerful device. It has a 5.5-inch Full HD IPS LCD panel, a 3000 mAh battery, a fingerprint scanner at the back with a mirror finish, a USB Type-C port, a 13-megapixel shooter with an aperture of f2.2, a 5-megapixel front camera, an IR blaster, and about everything else you expect from a device these days. Looking at the side profile of the device, the right has the volume rocker and power button, while the left has the dual SIM slots, keeping the device clean. The display we have here is a 5.5-inch Full HD IPS LCD panel with a pixel density of more than 400 ppi, so it's crispy enough. The panel itself reproduces very vibrant colors and deep blacks, so it's a charm to look at, but the brightness levels are too low. It might be a bit of a task to look at it under bright circumstances. The very colorful custom skin Android from La Echo, which is called EUI, looks very pleasing on this display. Now the choice of the skin of the UI is personal, but out of the box, it looks good. It has a lot of similarities with its Chinese sibling Xiaomi's MIUI. So no app drawer as usual, then there is a lot of transparency going on. EUI has its own control center too, but let me clear this. It's good and very handy, all the shortcuts and everything is well sorted. It looks busy, but it's very useful on a day-to-day basis. EUI, like MIUI, tries to mimic iOS in various aspects of the UI, but it has a few nifty tricks of its own. Even though the La One S runs a very heavy custom UI based on Android, it's very snappy. All the animations are well in place, there is almost no noticeable lag or stutter. It's a very responsive device, thanks to all that power under the hood, and also optimizations made to the software. La Echo has paid attention to minute details of the software which make it a breeze to use. The base of the current version of EUI is Android Lollipop 5.0, and the company claims that an update to Marshmallow is imminent. That's another step in the right direction. The camera performance of this device is something I haven't been very pleased with. The app itself is very iOS-like, almost the same. The autofocus and clicks are fast. It even has filters like iOS, but the photos from the 13-megapixel sensor are just mediocre. Outdoors is like its home ground. It takes decent pictures. The color reproduction is decent. It lags a bit when it comes to low light, but hey, when you look at the price of this device, you really can't complain. And it shoots 4K video too, so overall the camera is decent. And the front camera holds up pretty well for the selfie game. I'll leave a few camera samples now. Now let's talk a bit about gaming. Over the course through testing we ran a few intensive games. The gameplay looked amazing on the vibrant IPS panel, but looking deeper into it, the graphics of almost all the games were very well portrayed. The performance of the PowerVR GPU was very good. There were no or minimal frame drops, no screen tearing, so it's safe to say that it would handle most games like a champ. It did get a bit warm, but it's just usual. Coming to the fingerprint scanner now. I didn't really think that it would be that great, but to my surprise, the fingerprint scanner was extremely fast and reliable, and accurate to the point. Lastly, the battery life is great to be honest. Most of the time, I would be through the day with medium usage and about 30% left, and it even has quick charge, which will fully charge the device in less than 2 hours. So to sum it up, the La One S is a very good complete package, and at the price of about 10,000 rupees, it's a steal. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend this phone to anyone. The only downside of it being the low brightness levels of the display panel. Please check the links in the description below for the latest pricing. If you like the video, please hit that subscribe button to support us. Peace.